Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Eric from Tech. I've gotten a couple of requests from my previous Red Magic 7 Pro unboxing video, and you guys were asking me to compare the performance between the Red Magic 7 and the Red Magic 7 Pro. So I'm going to be doing just that on this video. So I'm going to be doing a quick benchmark test between the Red Magic 7 and the Red Magic 7 Pro, and I'm going to be running GENSHIN IMPACT on these two phones to see whether it can maintain a stable 60 frames per second on that very demanding game. So I'm going to be running two versions of the test. So one, I'm just going to be running the phones using just their internal fans, and for the next test, I'm going to be using Nubia's latest Red Magic Turbo Cooler, and we'll see if you actually still need to use a turbo cooler even though you've already got those internal fans. So let's go ahead and get this performance and heat test on the Red Magic 7 and the Red Magic 7 Pro started. Before we begin, a couple of key specifications for the phone. Both the Red Magic 7 and the Red Magic 7 Pro has the latest chipset from Qualcomm, which is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip. The Red Magic 7 Transparent Edition that I've got here has 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 256GB of UFS 3.1 storage. While the Red Magic 7 Pro that I have actually has a bit more RAM. This is a 16GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 256GB of UFS 3.1 storage. In terms of the refresh rate, you've got a maximum of 165Hz on the Red Magic 7 and 120Hz on the Red Magic 7 Pro. The battery on the Red Magic 7 though is a bit smaller, it's only 4500 mAh, while the Red Magic 7 Pro has a 5000 mAh battery. And one other difference between these two phones is the Red Magic 7 has 3 vents. So the Red Magic 7 has 3 intake vents, so you've got one on the left, one on the back, and you've got the exhaust vent on the right side. In the case of the Red Magic 7 Pro, they've actually removed the intake vent on the left side, so you're only left with the intake vent on the back and your exhaust vent on the right side. And since you've got your intake vent at the back, I'm going to be elevating these two phones so that these two vents are not going to be blocked. So the two phones are elevated, so you've got space at the bottom and there is a space in the middle so that the hot air coming from the Red Magic 7 won't interfere with the score of the Red Magic 7 Pro. So let's run the first test, Antutu benchmark version 9.3.5, and we'll see which of these two phones will score higher. So let's go ahead and start the test in 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, so the first test is done. So Antutu benchmark version 9, your Red Magic 7 actually scored just slightly bit higher than the Red Magic 7 Pro. It ended up with a final score of 1,039,505, whereas the Red Magic 7 Pro hit 1,033,954. It's only on the user experience or the UX where the Red Magic 7 beat out the Red Magic 7 Pro. Though on the temperature side here guys, the Red Magic 7 hit 37.9 and the Red Magic 7 Pro hit 36.9. So it's a 1 degree difference between the Red Magic 7 and the Red Magic 7 Pro. And pretty interesting here guys, the Red Magic 7 lost 4% of battery life, whereas the Red Magic 7 Pro actually stayed at 100% during that Antutu benchmark run. So it's the first time I've seen a Red Magic phone go through one whole benchmark test without actually losing battery life. So I'm going to let the phones cool down a bit and then we're going to be running 3D Mark. So we're going to be doing the Wildlife Extreme Stress Test. So this is going to be a 20-minute test and we're going to be seeing how well these two phones compare with each other, and we're going to be seeing the stability, or to be exact, we're going to find out whether extended gaming on these two phones will result in any thermal throttling or dialing down of the performance. So let's go ahead and start the Wildlife Extreme Stress Test in 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, test is done. Scores are pretty close here guys. On the Red Magic 7, the best loop score is 2619, 2616 on the Red Magic 7 Pro, though on the lowest loop score, the Red Magic 7 Pro scored a bit higher with 2452, 2345 on the regular Red Magic 7. In terms of the stability guys, it's looking pretty clear now that the Red Magic 7 Pro has a better cooling system even though it lost one of its intake vents. Stability is at pretty impressive 93.7%, while on the Red Magic 7 it's 89.5%. In terms of the battery, the Red Magic 7 Pro went from 99% all the way to 78%, and the Red Magic 7 went from 95 to 73. Temperature is a bit high on both phones. The Red Magic 7 hit a maximum of 54 degrees while the Red Magic 7 Pro hit a maximum of 53. And the minimum and maximum frames per second is virtually identical on the Red Magic 7 and the Red Magic 7 Pro. I'm going to let these two phones cool down a bit because they are both pretty hot to the touch. Once cooled down, I'm going to be running the test and I'm going to be using the Red Magic Turbo Cooler, and we'll find out whether you're actually going to be needing a cooler, especially when you're going to be gaming for extended periods of time. Alright guys, so for the next part of the test, since I'm going to be testing the Red Magic Turbo Cooler, I'm going to be testing the phones one by one. So I'll start off with the Red Magic 7 first. I'll attach the Red Magic Turbo Cooler and we'll see whether we're going to get a better stability score on the 3D Mark Wildlife stress test. So let me plug in the Red Magic Turbo Cooler and it's connected to the phone. Okay, Turbo Cooler is connected and it's running full blast guys. You can see the RGB goodness right there, along with the internal RGB fan on the Red Magic 7. And as you can see guys, the Red Magic Turbo Cooler does make good contact with the back of the phone. There is no visible gap between the cooler and the back of the phone itself, so you know you're going to be making good contact and the cooler will be able to do its job more efficiently. And just so you know, it is connected by Bluetooth. Let me do that now. Okay, so it's connected and it's running at its maximum fan speed. So starting the Red Magic 7 test with the turbo cooler attached in 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, so the test is done. The loop score didn't change much and the Red Magic 7 hit 2614. Though there is a big improvement on the lowest loop score. The lowest loop is 2569, resulting in a very high stability of 98.3%. So that means there is virtually no thermal throttling happening on the Red Magic 7 with the use of the turbo cooler. Now if we go down, the battery went down from 70 to 45. So you lost 25% in a 20-minute test. Then temperature went from 31 degrees Celsius up to just 42 degrees compared to the 54 degrees Celsius that you were getting without the use of the cooler. But overall guys, I am seeing the benefit of using a cooler in combination with the already very impressive cooling system on the Red Magic 7. And let's go ahead and run the test now on the Red Magic 7 Pro. So with the Red Magic 7 Pro, you've got a big aluminum metal back here which is not covered by glass. So I am expecting that the turbo cooler will do a better job in cooling the whole back of the phone. Alright guys, so it's connected and it's turned on. And similar to the Red Magic 7, there is not much of a gap between the back of the cooler and the Red Magic phone. And now let's start the Red Magic 7 Pro with the Red Magic Turbo Cooler in 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, so the Red Magic 7 Pro test is done. Best loop score 2612, lowest loop score is 2590. And stability is an even higher 99.2% with the use of the Red Magic Turbo Cooler. So again, when using an additional cooler on top of the internal fans of the Red Magic 7 phones, you're going to be getting absolutely no thermal throttling when playing demanding games even for extended periods. Battery went down from 75 to 53%. Your temperature is actually a very impressive 37 degrees Celsius over the 53 that you were getting without the use of the cooler. So now the benchmark tests are done. What I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be running Genshin Impact on these two phones. So first with no cooler and then another session with the Red Magic Turbo Cooler. Okay, starting the test in 3, 2, 1.
Brain outlined here. Not over. Here's backup. Stand clear. Enhanced animal module 75. Let me lead you. Outlines your fate. See? Check this out. I got you covered. Higher, higher, hands on fire. Outlines your fate.
Alright guys, 10-minute test is done. Phone did get a bit hot, so 47.6 at the top, 44.4 and 40.3, and at the back 47.8, 40.5 and 36.7.
Don't get too close. I got you covered. Animal test 6308. Let me read you a verse. Know my soul. It's over. Fire it up. Here's backup. Stand clear. Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter. Enhanced animal module. outlines your fate. Time to go. Check this out. Animal test 6308. Fire, hands on fire. Don't get too close. I got you covered. Animal test 63. Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power of Kuwa. Cross over. Supporting fire. Stand clear. Absorption test. Time to go. Stay clear. Witness the power of Kuwa. Cross over. Fire it up. Check this out. No, my sword! Fire it up! Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter. Animal test 6308. Don't get too close. Stand clear. Supporting fire. Witness the power of Kuwa. Animal hyperspace simulation. Absorption test. Rain outline your fate. Rain cutter. Fire, hands on fire. Check this out. Animal test 6308. Enhanced animal monster. No, my sword. Witness the power of Kuwa. Fire, hands on fire. Check this out. Supporting fire. Absorption test. Don't get too close. Here's backup. outlines your fate.
So before I wrap up the video guys, here are some graphs of the results that I've gotten from the benchmark test between the Red Magic 7 and the Red Magic 7 Pro. I was pretty surprised that the Red Magic 7 actually had a higher average frames per second of 61 over the 60 that you're getting on the Red Magic 7 Pro. Without a cooler, the Red Magic 7 had an average of 61 frames per second and the stability was at 96%, while the Red Magic 7 Pro had an average of 60 but the stability was a bit lower at 93%. Though I did notice that temperatures were just a bit higher on the Red Magic 7. Now when I used the Red Magic Turbo Cooler, the Red Magic 7 still maintained that average 61 frames per second, though the stability went down to 95%. While in the case of the Red Magic 7 Pro, it also still retained the 60 frames per second average, but it improved the stability to 96% from 93. And since the aluminum metal back is actually making direct contact to the Red Magic Turbo Cooler, what I noticed is that the temperature at the back is actually pretty much the same from the top to the bottom when compared to the Red Magic 7 where only the middle part of the phone actually got cool because it's still under a layer of glass. And another thing that I've noticed is the Red Magic 7, even though it has a higher frames per second average of 61, it's actually using more power, higher than 700 mAh compared to the Red Magic 7 Pro where it averaged between 650 to 690. Now, since the Red Magic 7 Pro has a higher battery capacity at 5000 mAh compared to the 4500 mAh on the Red Magic 7, we can safely assume that the Red Magic 7 Pro will definitely last longer in terms of gaming when compared to the Red Magic 7. And here are some graphs of the results for the GENSHIN IMPACT test. So there you have it guys, the Red Magic 7 Pro definitely impressed with the ICE 9.0 cooling system. Even though it actually lost one of the intake fans, it still performed a lot better than the Red Magic 7, primarily because of the way that the back is designed. On the Red Magic 7, your aluminum metal back is still under a layer of glass, while on the Red Magic 7 Pro it's not under a layer of glass, so if you're going to be using an external cooler, it's going to be doing a better job at dissipating the heat and drawing it away from the hot internals. So those are the results that I'm getting from the benchmark and the practical GENSHIN IMPACT test. Let me know what results you're getting on your device and I would love to discuss it on the comment section down below. Next up on the channel, I'm going to be doing a comprehensive test and comparison between the coolers that I've got on hand. So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and you turn on your notifications so you get notified once that video is up. So with that said, a sub would be massively appreciated. Please like and subscribe, hit that bell icon notification, and see you all on my next one.